Yo, check this out. This is Wayne Wonder, representing for Warrior LTV. You see the vision, don't it? See the vision. Warrior LTV. Keep it locked.
I'm gonna tell you. We, as bloggers, these are the issues that we need to address. You understand what I said? Set the bar for the youth. Share, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned to the channel. I don't know all this shit. Yes, brothers and sisters. Greetings once again in the mighty name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I, and all things good and wonderful amongst us and about us. See? No. You see, a lot of people might say this now have nothing to do with Vybz Kartel. You get me? Well, I'll show you how. It's got everything to do with Vybz Kartel, you know? 12 baby dead down Victoria Jubilee Hospital. And Tufton, the Minister of Health, is still very much in a job, put it simple, you know, see. And the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, still act as if one of them things there where it's just gonna blow off, or it's supposed to just blow off. See? No, the reason why or how this affect Vybz Kartel is that's Isat Buccanan is supposed to be one of the lead or the lead PNP lawyer. You know, in the government scene. So I know Jamaica is part of the Commonwealth, and the Commonwealth system operate by the same British law standard and things like that. You know, and Britain is supposed to be the supreme, or I'm sure it's the supreme parliament for Jamaica as well. You get me? So we make a certain representation on behalf the 12 children. I mean, you're 13, I mean, you're 14, but me you're 12 most likely. So I don't want, you know, misquote the number and people feel like me I misrepresent them claim I'm not, you know, figure somewhere and I represent all. See, it could be a lot more. See, so we're going to follow up this, we'll observe the story or we crack up and things like that. There's a thing where 14 months ago, not 14, it's like the parliament or the health minister claims say the popular narrative is that 4 months after the 4 months after the health minister learn about the bacteria, him start him come public with it. See, no more know if the 12 babies died 4 months ago, then him come public after him realize say him can't do nothing about it or can't restrain it or whatever. Since the time that he knew, and in the space of 4 months, has any more baby died? Because essentially that coming like some criminal negligence, right? That's to me, you know. Simple as my mind sound. You know, see, the simple fact say you're aware of clear and present danger, mortal danger. As a matter of fact, you keep that quiet to yourself to protect some sort of personal reputation or something like that. It basically put you in a culpable position, given the facts. So well, then you entertain these personal agenda, you know, your personal ambition over the life of, you know, young babies. You know, see, in my mind, and in every court or any law that's like, you know, you're part of the crime itself. To put it simple so that people first understand how I deal it. It's like you help and assist you by not releasing this information to the people who possibly who obviously have been in danger and things like that. It doesn't make you, for some, because of just for your ambition, your personal agenda, why you do that, you want to maintain your job or your reputation, why you allow, we were still like, how many baby died within this 4-month period? See, now these are questions for Isat Buccanan, one of the lead attorney in the PNP government. And this is how it affects Vybz Kartel, because if them level of laxity and negligence are happening in front of him, and him now make legal representation on behalf of the PNP party or the people who find themselves, victims of this cover up, you wonder what sort of purpose this guy has served. You understand me? Or is this just a regular practice in the whole government, both opposition and the party in power, for, just cover up one another crime and atrocities and things like that? Like, I don't know how this works. You get what I say? No, if you not observe these things by legal standard, I mean, even you yourself, have question for answer to. And one of the main question is, what sort of interest or what sort of satisfaction Vybz Kartel, what kind of satisfaction this gives Vybz Kartel as a defense lawyer, somebody who's supposed to represent him on a case of, the big M in a Britain? It's not like there's a guess or a if and but question. You can ask for a judicial review. There's a writ called the Certiorari, however you want to pronounce it. See it where you ask the judge for observe a certain case, and then you add another writ named the mandamus. That's have the judge demand that Andrew Holness fire Tufton. People sit down there and ask questions as if they might ask Tufton, are you gonna resign? This is, in my mind, this is criminal. You don't need no permission from a guy if you ask a guy if he's gonna resign and things like that. Them crap don't happen. And then he's still making public speeches and demanding, and as if he might act. This is the Jamaican. We are in a death trap with the political representation. Watch this guy who is still in public. I'll show you a little video with him still in the public. I tried him. I will tell you.
Thank you for having me. So listen, mouth make the talk. Mouth make the talk. And there is a whole heap of talking going on. But the two tests of leadership. The two tests of leadership is the extent to which you transform and make things better. And in this case, better for the people. And the two tests of leadership is when things rough. And you provide leadership to overcome that rough period of time. Now, I'm only going to talk to you about public health, because I'm the Minister of Health. That's all the whole
This is not acceptable, Rasta. This is people losing their life under your tenure, under your watch. What gives you any form of dignity or claims to go up this and justify or defend anything? Still claiming you're the minister of. This is just how distressful this is supposed to be right today upon the people who suffer losses, people, the mothers who lost them babies and things like that, because of this guy's personal agenda. See it, because and personal ambition why him cover that up. It's obvious it's not in the interest of the whole government. Interest of government is when the people feel protected and can feel like them can depend on you. Your potency for doing a good job. You understand? This case of this guy reckless. See it? It's reckless and it's criminal, as a matter of fact, without bated breath or anything like that. This guy need to answer to some serious question. And again, Isat Buccanan sit down there act like a dummy. I just bob him head like one of them babbling Bob Dolly there in a car dashboard or something like that. We don't understand what go on. There are processes, legal processes we're supposed to follow, whether or not Prime Minister want to act or stay there and cover up and act dumb, because I saw him go on like him take every Jamaican for eat that as well. There are legal processes. Jamaica is under the same Commonwealth, Commonwealth nations. And there are a set of rules. I mean, the legal system is observed by all of these Commonwealth nations, including Australia, which is one of the biggest, most independent Commonwealth nations on earth. Yet still, them observe the same English law, just as well Jamaica supposed to observe as well. You see, if the Jamaica legal system go on like them want to shun such a writ and now do them due diligence or carry out the true course of justice, you find out, say, you can write to the Privy Council and have all of them kick off, if you don't mind, shot them get, struck from the bar. You get what I say? Because all of these are legal precedents where guys are supposed to follow, adhere to. You understand what I say? You know, ask something, you act in the interest of the public. And if you not perform your duty, you should resign, step away from the position, lose your job, be fired, something. You're not supposed to still there and make public representation. No, if you think, watch this, what happened in a big Great Britain in a recent time, where a lot of people, may I explain to my knowledge after. After I show you that video, it's a 3-minute long. Just pay attention. Listen to the details within the questioning.
She said, though, as soon as she realised her important mistake, she said she rapidly reported it on official channels. Is that true?
That's my understanding, yes.
Well, I'd like to show you and our viewers something. We've been shown an email that was sent from her personal email address at 10:02 that day, following the original email she sent at 7:52 containing the sensitive document. Now, in there she says, please can you delete the message and ignore. Now, she's obviously realised her mistake, but what does that message mean, do you think?
Well, again, I don't know the details of every email that was sent and every message that was sent, but it would seem to me, on the basis of the information that you have there, that it was quite right that if something had been sent in error, that the recipient should be invited to delete and to ignore that message. Now, again, I don't know the full email chain and history, but that would seem to me to have been an appropriate thing to have done. Except
she says as soon as she realised, she admitted, she owned up. Now, reading that this morning, please can you delete and ignore, do you think that is somebody who's trying to confess, or is it that somebody who may be trying to cover their tracks? Because I think some of our viewers reading that might take the tone from that it's someone who rather wishes it would go away. I'm sure there'll be all sorts of inferences that people can draw, but it would seem to me, on the basis of the facts that I know, that it would have been quite proper for the Home Secretary to have said to the recipient of something that was sent in error, please do delete and ignore it. That is standard practice. And I know that whenever an email is sent in error, and it's also the case, I think, that the Home Secretary subsequently, or that morning, had conversations with officials and others, and as a consequence of those conversations, acknowledged error and made it clear that she was departing from office. But it wasn't until around noon, actually, that she did then report through officials to Simon Case, the Cabinet Secretary, that this had happened. So what we know now is she sent an email in error at about 10:08. About a couple of hours later, she asked someone to delete it. And then a couple of hours later, that is when, through officials, as I understand it, she approached Simon Case and said that she had made this mistake. And Michael Gove, this isn't like sending someone your shopping list by accident. No, it's not like having that jaw-dropping moment of sending the wrong text to the wrong friend. This is the Home Secretary committing a clear security breach using her personal email. Yes, and I think that, again, I don't want to get into all of the detail, because as we know, the message that was sent was intended for another parliamentarian, and so it's not as though it was being sent out into the ether to persons unknown. But I don't know all of the conversations that the Home Secretary had with the then Prime Minister and with the Cabinet Secretary. What I do know
is that Suella apologised for the error, resigned from office, and then when she was reappointed to do a job for which she is very well equipped and which she is completely focused on, the Prime Minister and the Cabinet Secretary had complete confidence that Suella was the right person for that role.
Far as I'm concerned, the Home Secretary only sent an email to the wrong minister. It's not like a stranger. She sent it to somebody who is not a member of the government. Remember that all of them have a duty, a responsibility, where them can divulge certain secrets of national security. See? If them do that, them possibly go to prison, even though it's a mistake by somebody else. As a matter of fact, even if them send it to the opposition, an opposition politician, the politician cannot reveal interests of national security. Them can't release that. Them have to just keep it quiet so them get a mistake them get an email by mistake from such and such and she's incompetent and right. Now, before this email you touch the public, before the deal done, the lady resign, Rasta. No disrespect, I'm not a fan of hers. Tell you that straight up from now. See? But before the day done, she resigned. See it? And justly so as well. And this is Big Britain where you have all sort of areas of, where people would have secret, bigger secret and things like that. You just remember this same government here, it's like, I think in my estimation, it has made history by having some of the most prime ministers during a governmental term. And in a short period to remember David Cameron, then Theresa May, then you have Boris Johnson, then you have Liz Truss the other day. Liz Truss now, she resigned. Her government get destroyed by the mere fact that she appointed as a minister of as the chancellor of the exchequer who supposed to deal with the money matters and things like that, and him raise up the tax from poor people and not the rich. That's the country, and the opposition rebel against that, and Liz Truss now fire him as if she never knows that this did all go on before it go on. No, everybody say she just threw a man under the bus. She's responsible, highly responsible, as much as the man who make the gaff. Because that's all he does in politics, make gaffs. That's a black man. Oh my goodness. You see it. So our own party called for a resignation. This is not like say some people in the party have higher authority than the Prime Minister, or the leader of the party, This come and remember them doing as a call for the resignation of the leader and she have a step way. You see it. Hence now you have a new Prime Minister. Like some people say, a man say within days, I mean I'm going on the joke where he make regarding the ups and downs. I don't know what to say about the government of the day. You understand what I say? But the fact is, this is what it is in a real world politics. And these same politicians in Jamaica now, I claim say, Jamaica is not a third world country. It might not be, it might not look that way or appear that way, but the corrupt nature of the government today, the negligence, and the unaccountability and things like that. Like these things are Rasta. How else other people will look upon it? It's how we know Banana Republic run. Like what go on in Jamaica, The opposition ignore valid claims, lawful claims were supposed to be represented by themselves. You understand? I don't know if Isat Buccanan never hear the term or even know say it's a legal issue. Practice in Jamaica, you have legal strength where if political will is not being applied, Rasta, you have the legal route where you can take. You understand what I say? Me explain the Certiorari process, the Certiorari writ, and then you move on to amendment. Certiorari writ where you get the judge, the court to do a judicial review, look at yes, there is a case. Which obviously there is. And then you apply them in Damos. pan the Prime Minister guy was long there and act culpable or act blind like Jamaica people. Now, no sense. You see, so with all due respect, I use the name of Vybz Kartel. Yes, to address a more serious issue where affect Jamaica today, no doubt, because it's shameful to say that probably if me did use some other title, you'd have less attention to your rights. Probably if me did show you say, this is your rights and this is how it should be applied in effect for your benefit. You probably 10 people would have viewed the video and all them sort of thing there. But look at the numbers based on the facts. So well then a Vybz Kartel name me use. You know, see, it is a kind of a luster nature within I and I again. Why we have to observe, say, these guys here, Isat Buccanan, tend to ignore certain process, forget justice done, or get whole government accountable, because at the end of the day, maintain the corrupt structure. So that's when you replace this government, the same structure is there where you can apply yourself and benefit from them same irresponsible and negligent behavior, yeah, regarding the people them, and there is no consequence to bear, Rasta. You know, see, it's not like nothing cannot be done. Yes, so we sit back and make them guys like, them feel like, I don't know, it's like them feel like see how them end up look, yeah, in the ends. This is how them end up look. Like dinosaur in a government. Ineffective people who haven't made any contribution or done anything for the public service job, where them are the Rasta, end up in the parliament until them look like this.
But I am no longer able to continue with the work that I used to do. I had an operation recently on my knee, and my kneecap. Therefore, I'm still learning to walk once again in that context. The Constitution of the Jamaican Labour Party requires that I get the confirmation of the people going forward. So this conference every year is where I've always said to the conference, I'm willing to step down as chairman and pass on to your successor when you're ready. And I want to repeat that. Because today's conference is a culmination of the public section that we're doing tonight. It's a culmination of all the divisions have met. Because I have pointed out that Joe Williams, who I think will succeed me, but I will get that ratified and confirmed by the people going forward. So today you confirm today that I could hand over the chairmanship of the Jamaican Labour Party in Central Florida to Joel.
When you see people like Mike Henry, like a 10 stick him lean up and no disrespect to the elderly, I respect all of my elders them, but when you look on a man like this where you no need for work and thing like that, yet still you hold up the portion of representation and politics still at this age, Rasta. It's like some even the young people that were in politics today now, no sense. Yeah, like I say, them have to maintain the corrupt structure, so that's when them fit in. It becomes a lifetime reward. Nobody not supposed to move you, not like that. You know, see it. This is how people like Mike Henry get up to be so old in a politics today like this. Youth like Isat Buccanan sit back and allow that. You understand what I say? You know, them not apply the rules of law effectively as it will benefit the common man. You understand? Instead of them being docile and restrictive. You know what I say? Rather than, you know, it's like a boys club, Rasta. It's like a club of people where them just go in and from them go in and eat that, them good. Nobody can move them. You know, see, these things are unacceptable, Rasta. Them things are unacceptable. Like we said, there are different processes for move up them guy and get them guy for act more responsible. I mean, you do this one time, in this case, you Chris Tufton. Next year, everybody straighten up themselves. You get what I say? Unless there is something to be afraid of. Why them guy are not do that, and why not explain, expose what sort of concern you have, why you're afraid to apply the law as it is, or you don't know the law, you yourself don't know the law, because you say I'm buying a phone or buying a law degree down there, you know, and these things are serious allegations as well. You get what I say? These things are being alleged strongly across the sphere. You know, see it. Say, some guy I buy them degree. You know, see it. Them thing is inappropriate and unacceptable right across the board. You get what I say? Probably if you apply the law as it, you know, as it's available to your eye, to the item, it's how open up another can of worm where other people are go. You know, see it. Anyway, what kind of that disgust that we are just leave it at that. You understand what I say? We might catch up on it or follow up on it. Come on, but no, we put it out there, the necessary task, you know, becomes applicable, or some guys start apply it now so that people can see some level of justice, Rasta. 12, 14, 13, baby. That's I mean, come on, man. And you 4 years, 4 months after knowing this, you choose to tell the public this. How many more people you put in danger during that period of time there, during that space of time there? And why? What purpose does that serve? Except a personal ego, something of a personal nature. And once you personalize the thing, you are highly responsible criminally for what go on, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, we give thanks. We don't enjoy it out. Rastafari.
Opportunity to feel like you're better than me, man. Because the other time when my father was walking barefoot to school, and my mother was struggling with 5 jobs, and they would always remind us that there is a
Look, me see him and kill me.